I kind of want to talk to you today about specifically bullies, something that I faced quite a lot in my life. Growing up from school, I would frequently get bullied by multiple different groups of people, and it was really just quite this big element in my life. It taught me very valuable lessons that I needed to learn, and certainly with new realizations, I came to understand bullying a whole lot more. And so I just kind of wanted to share this with you today. So, if you know anything about me, you'll know that I basically have been bullied, basically just been bullied throughout my life. Since I joined school, immediately I would just basically start getting criticisms and bullies all over the place. From the first group to the second group to the third group, all the way till ninth grade. I kind of just want to tell you specifically about this situation. So, for almost an entire year, about no, maybe 6 month period, I specifically was getting bullied every single day because I was in this class with the bullies group that I'd basically previously faced, okay? And so I was just with my old friend group, also bullies by the way, also bullied me, but just scratch that, okay? The other guys, okay? Those guys would basically bully us three, the friend group, okay? And we were basically just 24/7 on just full on shaky mode, basically scared for our lives. We were getting bullied 24/7, just not even knowing how to defend ourselves and anything. It was just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible shit. But then, me being kind of like this leader in our group, I basically got the opportunity to tell their leader, the leader of that group, basically that okay, enough of this shit, bro. Let's stop this shit. It doesn't matter. Why the fuck should we be making fun of each other? We've grown up for that shit. Basically, I just told him that shit straight up. And with that heart to heart conversation, I basically freed our group from bullying. And of course, this won't be for everybody. I'm going to talk about the ways in just a bit, but I just kind of want to give a disclaimer here that this isn't for everybody. Your bully might not be just bullying for fun. They might be bullying out of envy. That's something else. I got bullies from envy. I couldn't solve my problem with them by simply having a heart-to-heart conversation. It was just for these guys, okay? So, how do you actually get yourself rid of bullies? Well, you first gotta understand the bullies, because the simple truth is, if you don't understand the person in front of you, you won't exactly know how to defend yourself from them, because you don't understand what they want. You don't understand why they're bullying you. People could bully you out of envy. People could bully you out of jealousy. They could bully you just purely out of passive aggression because they hate you. It could be just because they want to have fun. People have their own reasons, and you want to be able to understand, okay, why does this person do this shit? And so the way you do that is simply by journaling. There is no better way to do this. The number one way you could be actually fulfilling this role is just you actually journaling. You get a sheet of paper, you write down, okay, so I'll just give you a framework quick. So I basically write down first your story, how this guy is bullying you. And then you ask yourself, okay, why would this person be bullying me? And kind of gain some background on them. You don't have to complete the whole fucking journaling topic once or twice. You can keep repeating it over and over. And basically, you just keep writing down, okay, why could this person be bullying me? And then you would basically rewrite the story in a more inspirational way. And so you, in that way, would be more understanding to him. So it kind of just would look something like this. You would write the story first, then you would write, okay, why does this guy bully me? Okay, he has insecurities, he is jealous of me, he gets, his parents, tell him, okay, this guy, why don't you be like this guy? And that's why he bullies me. Okay, well, let's write it in an inspirational way. Well, me and this guy, he bullies me, and I understand him, and he's a very, he's a very poor guy, and he's his parents hit him, and they're telling him you should be like this guy and that stuff. Okay, well, what is the lesson learned here? And you simply just then overcome that shit. And from there, you would simply just go into the next step, which is actually assessing what do you need to be doing now. So you understood your bully, you understood him, you are sympathetic with him. What now? Well, you actually need to be finding, okay, what do I do right now? What am I to do? So it could just be simply you leaving away from him, just escaping him, moving to a different class and stuff like that. It also just be a heart-to-heart conversation, just like for me, like for me, I realized that they were just having fun. They weren't really actually meaning to bully us, but their fun was just, like downplaying someone else. And so I just told him, okay, like, bro, just stop with this shit. Like, we don't need to be doing this shit. We're too grown up for this shit. And it was like, okay, shit, like, no problem, bro. And it was really just that simple for me in, like, my own, like, first case. Of course, other cases, I had to basically play the courtier. And that's, like, a good thing for you to also take into consideration. Is you want to kind of really learn about a whole bunch of psychology shit. Just learn, okay, like, you literally need to be playing the courtier, not talking much, almost like trying to win them for your favor, and then basically like betray them. I mean, it's very like dirty like techniques. You could tell me it's dirty techniques. I still think that like I'm with Robert Greene on this shit. Honestly, you can also just very well turn your enemies into friends, exactly like what I did. So right now, these bullies, these guys, whenever I walk past them in the alleys, I always just shake their hands. I'm always just like hugging them, and like, because me and them have basically became friends. We're okay with each other. It's not like this like very like stressful situation. We're like, oh no, like this guy, like, oh, it's like you need to actually like clear your mind of any thoughts, because chances are you're actually like kind of up seeing them for what they actually are. You're kind of just seeing them as way too bigger for what they actually are. They're just puny kids like you. And it's like all these guys that bully you, they're gonna die anyway. Like, they're gonna die someday. Like, I mean, I laughed at this, I was watching a podcast for Oxymosi, and he basically just said, well, what is murder? Murder is you choosing the time someone dies. Well, you can murder anyone in your head, it's just you don't choose the time they die. And I just took that in big consideration, because I think this would really help someone who's got bad mental health, like someone who's just like wishing to kill someone. You could literally like murder them in your head and be like, oh yeah, like they're already dead. I just don't get to choose when they die. And it's like that's some big shit, like I talked about that in the morning chat I released a couple of days ago, about just basically if you're gonna die in 3 days, what would you do then? And I talked about like me and the conversation that I had with my best friend. I was just talking about like death and stuff like that, and it's like I truly think like I mean, let me tell you this story. So in another like separate time, I basically was just talking about like just fears and shit like that. And me and my best friend, we were just like sat on like we were basically just standing on a ledge of like a grass like weird like farm thing, and we just started stepping on the grass, and like that basically just like waddling on there. And I started asking them, "What do you fear the most?" And he told me, okay, like, I mean, what do I probably fear? Probably fear my parents, like just, like actually being mad from me. I fear like that I'll go to hell and stuff like that. I mean, he has his own stuff, right? And I basically told him, like, don't you want to be getting rid of those things? And he said, I probably should be. And I told him, okay, like, what about the fear of heights? And he's like, oh yeah, I do have that. I told him, what about the fear of like, all that shit? And then basically we went on, and I stood at a ledge, like a high ledge that had like almost like a fence thing, and almost like trying to get him to come with me, to stand on there and just look down. That like I found that was a very effective way to face like fear of heights. And so I told him, come on, bro, like let's just stand here and look downward so you actually see that there's a good breeze of air as well. And eventually I got him to like stand up with me and just look down. He was very scared to do it. I don't know why. I guess he was scared of people as well, because there were people around and he just didn't want to like look like a child. I think the fear, I mean, I did a whole morning chat on fear, but I think fear is really just this big element in life, really. I mean, even like like fear really just usually generates from death because you've linked this thing to death in some way or another. But really, like going back to bullies, the reason you fear a bully is because you've associated them with them killing you or death. But then you need to realize, bro, who's gonna fucking like touch you? It's like, I mean, if they touch you, break his fucking nose. It's like, bro, like, is it so hard? It's like, if someone touches you, just break their nose. I'll tell you about this bully that I've had. He basically he was just a fat ass, and I used to bully him. Like I was in this class. I moved and then I went back. Okay, before I moved out, I basically just used to bully this kid. Okay, and I was on self improvement. I was a piece of shit basically. And then, karma happens. I get bullied in that class, and then I come back to that class, like the class again with that kid, and that kid bullies me again. And so it's like it's a very big cycle. But I mean, of course, as soon as I moved to that class, I was basically moving into self improvement. When I moved back to that class again, I was on self improvement, and so I was basically like he just started bullying me. And of course, I counted to three, and I boomed his fucking head up. Like everyone in the class just saw me basically just beat his fucking ass up. And so basically, yeah, I learned how to deal with bullies. I just don't get them to cross their marks. This guy basically used to just fucking he used to make sexual jokes. So he just basically walk past me and he like would just be doing almost like he's pounding. And basically like he did it once. I fucked his ass up. He didn't do it again. But really I think you need to be understanding that you shouldn't be fearing anything. In fact, one of your life goals should be like complete and utter fearlessness, just being fearless, having no fears whatsoever. Alex Hormozi says this. He says one of his life goals is just to be fearless, to not have a single fear, like at all. And so really you need to be assessing what you need to be doing in your situation. So you've assessed and you've understood your bully. Now you need to assess, okay, like what am I to do now? And simply finding the best step you could be taking right now to fulfill this role.